Grand Rising. My kid's trying to freeze me. I'm cold. It's cold. Grand Rising. Good morning. Good afternoon. Good evening. Whatever it is to and for you. Alexa, volume down one. Hey there. Happy Saturday. If you're new to my channel, welcome to my channel. If you are returning to my channel, welcome back to my channel. I appreciate y'all. The love, support, like, shares, comments, subscriptions, memberships, gifts, super chats, and all of that. Okay? You are appreciated. Alright? If you are new, visit the playlist section. Everything can be found in the playlist section for your convenience. Okay? Um, Visit the playlist section. Go read about the memberships. Alright, the memberships are $2.99 per month. Okay, USD. I just feel like I keep needing to say that. I don't know. I know it's a lot of people. Hey, beautiful. What's going on? Peace and blessings. How you feeling, are you? How you feeling? What you feeling like? Read about the memberships, okay, y'all. I do want to go. I'm gonna do it on a positive note message after I finish this today. I wasn't, but I sat here for about a good hour debating on it. Okay, you know I gotta talk to God and my ancestors before I do anything. So I had to sit and just, you know, it take a minute sometimes. And sometimes they be like, hurry up, what you waiting on? So, yeah. I am going to do on a positive note message. Um, because of a dream. A dream I had last night that I've been playing over and over in my mind since I woke up this morning. And it was really weird, very like ancient. In all honesty, it almost seemed like I was quote unquote time traveling. Okay, like, but going through lifetimes, through different lifetimes, and these could be my lifetimes, but they could be somebody else's. But I'm talking about the dream was so detailed and specific and ancient, and just like it was crazy because I'm gonna tell y'all something. Yesterday, when I was in prayer, right? I'm in prayer yesterday, and I was like, my voice changed. I don't know how to explain this to y'all, but it's happened to me before. Years ago, it happened to me, where I'll be in the middle of prayer or meditation, and it's like something, my voice changes. Like, I don't know what that is or why that happens. It don't freak me out. It don't do nothing. It just, I accept it. I've learned to accept who I am in its entirety. Do you hear me? So when certain spiritual things happen, I just accept it for what it is. Okay. I know better now. So it's easier to accept things instead of fighting against it and thinking like, oh no, this like, but it it was like a strong, really, really strong Southern accent while I'm in the middle of prayer. And I stopped and was like, what the heck? And I said, But immediately it made me think about when some of y'all be like, y'all tell me I have a accent, like a Southern like accent. And I'm like, but that's what I immediately thought about. And I'm like, what the hell is going on? But last night in the dream, it was a bunch of people with southern accents of different races, okay, different ethnic backgrounds, but southern accents. And I, again, this morning, that's what I thought about. So I'm like, that's really crazy. But it it just tripped me out, and I said, oh, that's crazy. So I am definitely going over in members after we finished giving the positive affirmation for this morning. Okay, well, for today, because it's 1:47 p.m. where I am. Okay, so it's afternoon. But hello, G Sam. That's as far as I'm going with that, honey. That's a lot. All right, all right, all right, all right. Oh, what's happening? You so disrespectful. I don't look decent today. I feel great. I look a little bummy because I'm about to continue working after I finish. And I don't want to get nothing on my good clothes. So I got on some athletic wear and some none of your business. Yeah, I'm just saying. But I always often look much better. Yeah. Whew, my nose itching. Okay, so nonetheless, you hear my son laugh loud in the mud, cause don't play with me. So is your head, but I bet it's pretty empty too, huh? I bet it is. I bet that motherfucker hollowed in the mud. Huh? Ain't nothing up there. Adios. Fuck on. Anywho, uh, y'all, I really be trying to be nice. But some of these, hey, listen, I ain't that nice. Like, I really be so trifling, are you? Reese's, I ain't gonna do it. But it be people floating through here on my channel. Y'all really don't know. I check you so quick and swift and go about the live. Like, we gonna go about our day, baby. But when you come over here, you gonna keep it respectful. Get your ass on somewhere. Okay? Because I got a prayer for you, too. So don't play with me. Don't play with me. But hey, Reese's, what's going on, love? How you feeling today? I almost did it. I'm glad I did. You know, I love y'all. Hilarious. Lord, hilarious. Okay, so I am going to do on a positive note right after I get off of here. Because, baby, when I tell y'all I woke up right in that dream down, and I didn't even write the full dream down. I wrote down all the parts of the dream that I thought were key parts and very important, and that stuck out to me the most. And I usually write my entire dream down, but it often turns into something like a freaking movie script. Okay, like it be long, and ain't nobody got time for that. So if I write down the key parts and points and what sticks out to me the most, I remember the whole dream. So that's what I have to start breaking down and doing, because writing the whole dream is a lot. Okay. So, yeah. But it got numbers, names, colors, certain specific items. And we going to get into them details over in members. Okay. Because, of course, I'm going to give a message with it. Because why not? Okay. Yeah. Yes, I am. Yes, I am. It was interesting though. The southern accent is what really I've been tripping on all morning. And then you know something else? What was crazy? After I sat here and thought about the dream after I woke up this morning, because when I woke up this morning, laid there for a minute like, what was that? That's what I said to myself. What was that about? God, what is that? What was that? And I just sat there and then I went into prayer. I did my morning routine prayers that I do every morning. And it was like, okay, let me sit and think about this for a minute because, Ray, what's going on, honey? How you feeling? Down there in Georgia? You better hear me down there in Georgia. And look, we was just talking about southern accents. I'm telling you. Maybe they trying to tell me I need to. Maybe my ancestors telling me move down south. Okay? Because, baby, listen. It was planned. It was planned. And I put the plan on pause to do something else that I felt was very purposeful. Okay? And also a part of my purpose as well as my journey. So, crazy. And it's so interesting to me because every time I plan on moving to this specific, to Georgia, I'm telling y'all that, y'all listen, this is giving me that energy, that New York energy. So remember I told y'all every time I try to go to New York, just to visit, not to live. But every time I try to go to New York, somebody passes away, right? Every single time. But every time I try to and plan on moving to Georgia, something happens. And then not something bad, something good happens for me every single time. And then I'm just like, is it really good or is it really stopping me from something better? You know, like that's just what I think about. I think about everything, all things considered. Okay. But it's like, dang, I've been planning on moving to Georgia for the last. Listen, when I was pregnant with my oldest son, my aunt my aunt lives in Georgia. She moved from Detroit, Michigan to Georgia when I was a kid, right? Um, and I was mad at her for it. I'm talking about I was big mad at her for that for years. I'm talking about for years. Cause my auntie was that was my best friend. I loved my auntie, and this gonna sound crazy, but I told this story before. I loved my auntie more than I loved my mom at one point. Like I was closer to her. I felt more connected to her than my mother at one point. Like when I was younger. So when they told me she moved, cause she like moved, it was, I believe, in the middle of the night or early in the morning. I can't really remember. But when they told me she moved out of town and it wasn't like an hour away, it was hours away. Oh, I was pissed. I was mad. I was mad at her because I felt like she left me. I felt like she left me in some bullshit. But I was really mad at her. Ray, thank you for the floating heart, honey. I appreciate you. So, Cadbury, let me tell you, my son, my 16-year-old son, and myself was just talking about what if we moved to Africa. That's definitely, like, I don't know how that conversation even came up or how it even got considered. And it was like, I don't know. We had a long conversation about moving to Africa, but yeah. And I've been asked to move to Africa several times. I don't know why people be wanting me in Africa. I don't have a clue. And I remember about 2 years ago, I had a dream. Um, I was in Africa. How I got there, I don't know. But I was for sure in Africa. And this lady was trying to convince me to marry her son. She was willing to pay me to marry her son. She wanted me to marry one of her sons. The other son wanted to marry me. It was crazy. But I will never forget that dream. I will never forget that dream. But the lady wanted me to marry her son. Like, she was adamant about it. They was serving me and giving me stuff and buying me stuff and doing stuff for me. And I'm like, it blew me. And I was just like, okay, that was weird. But I will never forget that dream. It was beautiful. It really was. Hello, Katrina Wallace, Doug Willits, Doug Will Litz. I don't know, baby. Hello. Hello, darling. Hey, G-Man. Thank you, darling. I appreciate you. Doug. Listen. Uh-uh. Because I feel like y'all be spamming and scamming, baby. For real. Because them the type of spam calls I get, too. That's got to be spam. Hmm. Hey, Diamond Queen. What's going on, love? Yeah, but y'all, I ain't gonna never forget that dream in Africa chilling. I'm talking about, it was like, I didn't want to wake up. But yeah, the lady kept trying to get me to marry her son. That was real weird. Because my dreams hold significance. Significant meanings. Yeah, my dreams are different. Not different from everyone, but different from some. Yeah. So I was like, okay, all right. But that dream I had last night was really southern and ancient. But it was a whole lot of southern accents. And it's so crazy what tripped me out about the dream last night. It was people that I knew from this lifetime in the dream, in certain parts of the dream I had last night, that I don't talk to. People I don't talk to, people I haven't seen in years. So I'm just like, okay. But it was odd because every time somebody that I knew from this lifetime in that dream would come towards me or would try to walk towards me to speak to me or talk to me, it's like something pushed them away from me and pulled me in another direction. Like, they could not talk to me. They was blocked from speaking to me and talking to me. And I know what that means. So I used to do dream interpretation readings, honey. I know what that means. So I ain't mad. I ain't mad at all. I love my protection and however it comes. All right. All right. Whew. Yeah, let's get this information. But for real though, that same thing happened every time I try to plan on moving to Georgia. Something come up. Something happened. Somebody offer me something to get me to stay. Somebody do something for me to stay where I am. And I be like, but it's something about Georgia. Like, I remember my first time going to Georgia. I was in love with it. I didn't want to leave. I was in love with it. I stayed an extra week. It wasn't about nobody. It wasn't about meeting nobody. It wasn't about seeing nobody. It was solely based off of the culture, the surroundings, the scenery in some places, some areas of Georgia, some parts. I loved it. Like, I loved it. It was fitting. It just felt comfortable. It felt like home. I didn't want to leave. I stayed a whole nother week just to do research, just to look into some things. Um, get a little information. Cause yeah, that's what I do. So yeah, I don't know. Some could be relevant about Georgia, but wherever I was in that dream I had last night, I was for sure somewhere down south. And I'm talking about somewhere down south where they got real strong, really, really strong southern accents. Because I promise to God, when I was in prayer yesterday, and that accent like took over my prayer, that's because that's the only thing I could hear. It's like it was like a grandmother. Like that's the sound. What it sound like? It sound like I was somebody's grandmother, and I had to stop, and it just threw me like, what the? I had to stop because I said it was just too. It was too real. It was too real, but it sound like somebody listening. It sound like someone's grandmother with a heavy southern accent. That's what it sound like. A big mama. That's what it sound like. Look, look what I just cut this deck on. A grandmother. I'm telling you. And in the dream, I'm gonna tell the whole dream over in members after I finish, cause I'm going over there after this. But in the dream, somebody's grandmother was in the dream, and we was just talking about that dream I had about the African lady trying to get me to marry her son. In that dream I had last night, a grandmother was trying to get me to marry her grandson. She wanted me to be with her grandson. I don't know who the man is. Like, I couldn't tell you. I don't even remember what he looked like from the dream. If I seen him, I could draw him. I could draw him. But if I seen him, I would know him. But it was really weird. It was really, really weird. It wasn't my grandmother, though. The lady in the dream wasn't my grandmother. Don't know her. She was beautiful, though. That remind me of this other lady. So y'all, look, a few years ago, and I talked about this dream on my channel. Yeah. So when I used to do readings, the all signs, zodiac sign readings I used to do, when I used to do those, I had a dream, but Kevin Gates was in this dream. Um, and the lady in the dream, he called her his grandmother. It was his grandmother, right? But what was crazy about that dream, the lady was taking care of me. It's like he took me from, I was sitting on the couch. I'm going to have to find that reading, that all signs reading. And when I do the on a positive note message, we going to elaborate on all of that over there in members after this. But me and him was sitting on a couch. It was like a living room setting. But what's crazy is I don't know how I ended up on the couch with him because I was in a different part of the dream. I ain't gonna never forget this dream either. It's rare that I forget my dreams. I remember them, I'm talking about to the T. my memory bank is full, but I don't need no pen and pad. Let's just say that. But how I ended up I was sitting on a couch with him. He was sitting to my left, I was sitting to his right, and he was showing me some music. He was telling me to listen to some music, and I was listening to the music. We was talking about the music he was doing. And matter of fact, I believe this was right before he dropped. What album was that? He ended up dropping an album shortly after that. I gotta find that. Cause y'all, if y'all know, I listen to a lot of Kevin Gates. I love Kevin Gates' music because it's always a message in it. So whether you choose to hear the message or not, that's on you, right? If you miss the message, you just miss the message. But that man be teaching in his music. He teach in his music. And a lot of people don't catch it because they be so focused on what he look like and all of the other aesthetics and shit. That's why people be stuck, because they can't see beyond the surface. Okay, but anywho, we was sitting on that couch and he was talking to me about his music. He had me listening to some music. I think I even said parts of what the song said. I gotta find that video I did. I gotta find it. But we was sitting on that couch and we was talking about the music, and then he was like, don't go back. He told me don't go back there. From wherever it was, like I fell out of the floor from wherever I was at. Wherever I was at, it was a bike. I described the bike. It was a bunch of stuff. I don't know. But it's like I fell into a living room setting, and we were sitting on the couch discussing that music. I told y'all my dreams jump from scene to scene to scene. It's like a fucking movie, literally. But we sitting discussing that music, and this older lady walks in. This older lady, I described this lady to a T. Do you hear me? I described the lady to a T. But she had long gray hair. She was so beautiful, though. I'm talking about the lady. She was like you can see her native roots. Okay? But she had some beautiful long gray hair. Um, and she was in the kitchen. She was making stuff. She was preparing something. But she was making stuff. She brought me some tea. She was like, here, drink this and you'll feel better. And then he was like, don't go back there. You can't go back there. He was like, you'll be all right here. She gonna take care of you. And she was like, come on, come with me. And she took me with her. And the lady, I'm talking about, she nurtured me. I'm talking about the lady nurtured me. It gave me my grandma. I told y'all about my grandma Gloria, but it gave me my grandma Gloria's energy. But she nurtured me like that. And I'm like, I don't know who this lady is. It was tripping me out in the dream because I don't know who the lady is. Never met the lady. I don't know who grandmama it is. But the lady took care of me in that dream. She fed me. She was giving me tea. She was making sure I was safe. She protected me. I don't know who the lady was. Don't have a clue. I know she was beautiful. She was very beautiful. Very beautiful. But she was in all white. And this same lady, though, popped up in a dream of mine earlier last year. It was either in January, early January of last year, or the end of the year before that. The same lady popped up in my dream. And she was in all white again, long, beautiful gray hair. The lady was beautiful. I'm talking about beautiful. If she is one of my ancestors, I got to see a picture. Like, that's how I feel. At this point, I need to see a picture of this lady just to know this one of my ancestors, this one of my people, because I don't know who this lady is, but she always shows up in my dream at times when I'm dealing with situations and dealing with stuff. This lady shows up in my dream and she takes care of me and she protects me, she feeds me, she nurses me, she nurtures me, she, I'm talking about whole nine. So I don't know who the lady is, but that's what I just thought about. But the lady that was in my dream last night, I don't know who she was. I ain't never seen her in my dreams. That was somebody else's grandmama. I don't know. Okay, I don't know. I always have these old ladies and old men showing up in my dreams, but every time they show up, they helping me in some type of way. They they protecting me from something or in some type of way every single time. But yeah, that's another dream. I ain't gonna never forget that dream with me and Kevin Gates sitting on that couch, and that wasn't the first time he popped up in my dreams. That man done been in my dreams multiple times. Just having a conversation. We literally just be sitting there having a conversation either about ancestral stuff or music. Every single time is something else. That's like, you can't make me listen. Can't nobody make me hate Kevin Gates. You can't make me hate that man. You can't tell me stuff this man did or none of that because of how I am spiritually and how these conversations go with this man in my dream. Because I've also had Drika pop up in my dreams. And the conversations with her, something else. You can't make me hate Kevin Gates. I ain't gonna hate Drika. Because I know, I don't know what's up with that energy. Oh my goodness. We going on members. We got to take that to members. Because I do know she a Virgo. Her birthday the same day as my brother's. August 31st. She a Virgo. I know that. Kevin Gates, he an Aquarius. I know that. You can't make me hate that man. It's things that I've been shown spiritually. I can't never hate that man. I ain't gonna never speak nothing ill about him or against him. No. Mm-mm. I know better. Hey, I talk. What? You enjoy your weekend too, honey. Hood TMZ podcast. Ray Miller, you said power. Okay, you got that power over me. My love, everything. I'm telling you, can't make me hate that man. He got some great music. Yeah, great music. It's great. The man is great. But he and it's so crazy. It really blows my mind how people be so quick to be like, he this and he that and he evil and he look. Look what's on these cards. Joy, kindness. Let me tell y'all something. Oh, how the world would be if we all could use our gift of discernment and really know how to navigate our intuition. Oh, how the world would be if some of us just sat back and observed and could know body language. Oh, how the world would be if we just sat back and paid attention. I sat and watched people criticize him for him and Drika splitting up and not being. Muslims have a way of doing things, right? So I respect the way he did what he did and handled his situation. I respect that. So what's crazy though is how people was so quick. He cheating on Drika. He doing this. He doing that. He doing that. He doing this. I said something ain't right. Something ain't right. Something ain't right. It don't even make sense. It don't even make sense. Cause you gotta think. That man went through addiction. Severe addiction. He went through significant healing. Okay? So I watched, without saying a word, I watched him almost slide back into addiction. And I don't know if anybody else in the world caught that. I don't know if anybody else saw that. But I saw it. And I said, oh no, God, no. Because it's something about him and it's something about his spirit that's healing in a way that I ain't gonna say not no rapper, but a lot of rappers, they don't have that healing spirit. They don't have that healing nature. The way that man interact with his children and the way his children respond to him, I ain't never seen it be in an unhealthy manner. It's never been in an unhealthy way. I've never seen Drika interact with them children in that way. Never. I ain't saying nothing. I ain't assuming nothing. I'm just saying, stating facts of what I observed over the years. Because I loved them. Do you hear me? I loved Kevin and Drika together. Right? I loved their healing process. It was admirable. You could appreciate it. Watching him go through that healing process, I don't think he got enough credit or respect for him making it through that healing process. Because not all of us, all of our healing process is not coming out of an addiction, right? That's not all of our healing process. But if that's your healing process, baby, give yourself some credit. Walk in your confidence. Walk proudly in your confidence. If healing addiction is your healing process or a part of your healing process, I don't give a damn what the addiction is. Walk proudly in that. Walk proudly in it. Don't let nobody play with you. You better never let nobody play with you. But it's something, the healing part of that man's spirit. See, because something about me, I look at people on the soul level. I look at their spirit first. I don't give a fuck what your physicality is like. I don't care what you look like. I don't care what your outside appearance is. I don't care how the world see you. I don't care about the mask you got to wear temporarily to appease the world or to gain what you want from the world. I don't care about none of that. I don't care. Ain't gonna never care. Ain't never cared. I'ma see what your spirit and your soul look like. That's how I'ma see you first. If that's ugly, I'm never gonna see nothing physical about you. It's just never. I ain't gonna see what everybody else see. How everybody else view you is not how I'm gonna view you or see you. I'm gonna see you on a soul level. I'm going to see your spirit, male or female. I don't care who you are. Dating or not dating. Business or no business. It don't matter who you are. You could be the individual on the streets. I'm going to see you on a soul level. I'm going to see your spirit first. Every time. Every time. That shows me how to deal with people. That shows me whether I want to go around an individual or not. That determines that. What your soul looking like. What your spirit hitting for. That's all I care about. The rest of that, I don't care. I don't care. I don't care about no physical nothing. Because at the end of the day, if your soul and your spirit is not healed, when you go off and you pass on and you go into that next life and you go into the next realm, you're going to repeat the same cycle. You still going to be fighting to heal your soul and your spirit because you didn't learn that lesson while you was here the first time. It's people that's been here multiple lifetimes. That painting, baby, listen, I didn't paint that painting for no reason. I tell y'all, when I do these paintings, all of them, when I do these paintings, I let the paintbrush guide me. I have no image in mind. Do you hear me? None. I let the paintbrush guide me. Okay? And the first thing, whatever I get after I start with it, after the paintbrush just go, the first image I get is what I lock in on. And then I'm shown what it's gonna be. Every photo I paint, every canvas I paint tells a story. There's something behind it. Okay? So the painting I did the other day, the mirroring soul painting, that's what I just thought about. On that painting, I told y'all it's 7 branches off that tree that represented it. It represents 7 lifetimes of healing. 2 people healing through 7 lifetimes in one way or another. However it is that you're a healer or a teacher. Okay? It represents 2 people, 2 souls, 2 mirrored souls who have healed through 7 lifetimes. Generations after generations after generations. They healing. It's spiritual warrior energy. Okay? Like, because if you know, you know. Them spiritual battles ain't easy. Because them spiritual battles is when you have to fight. You fight in yourself mentally, physically, emotionally, sexually, psychologically. You fight in yourself. That's the spiritual warfare. It ain't no devil in the ground trying to get to you. It's you fighting your demons. I watched that man fight them demons. Addiction is a demon. Depending on your type of addiction, is a demon. Drug addiction, that's a demon that people fight. That's a demon people fight. Sex addiction, that's a demon that people fight. Gambling addictions, it's a demon that people have to fight. All of these things that you find it hard to come up out of, and you find that you at battle with yourself, your higher and lower self. These are your demons that you are fighting. Okay? That's your battle between your higher and lower self. I feel like we don't need the affirmations today. Because I'm going to still get one. But I'm just saying. Hey, Stargazer. What's going on, honey? Dang, Riley, you got the boot. Enchanted Star. What's going on, my dear? I didn't even see you. I didn't even see you pop in. What? You said the world is healing ain't dramatic enough. The world is blind to healing. Absolutely. Absolutely. Enchanted Star, why you Oh yeah, Riley, you tripping with that one. Hold on, y'all. Let me go back up. I ain't done. I just had to pause because I just feel like. Hey, Philip. Good evening to you. Hello, Rachel. Rebecca. Robert. Happy Saturday, darling. Y'all done crept in on me. I ain't even see y'all. Yes, that's the problem though. People need to tap into their God given discernment. It's gonna help you eliminate a lot of that bull crap. It's gonna stop you from taking a route that ain't for you. Yeah. And even if you get lost on your path, honey, and you gotta find your way back and navigate your way back, God sends you people for that. Your ancestors gonna send you people for that. They gonna divinely guide you where you need to be and where you need to go. But you got to be able to discern people's energy and not think, oh, well, they showed up and they might. They, you got to pay attention. Like, people say anything. I tell y'all that all the time. People say anything. They'll tell you anything. Listen, what Kevin Gates said all the time in his music. People can trick your mind gooder than a like for real. That's the truth. A person that talk good, dangerous, cause they'll trick your mind. They could trick your mind. Yeah, and you will be sitting there like, but I thought. Penny for your thoughts, baby. Ain't no but I thought. Think a little harder. It's okay. People get criticized for being overthinkers. Being an overthinker is not a bad thing. People get criticized for being an overthinker. People get criticized for talking to themselves. It's not a bad thing. Okay? You supposed to talk to yourself and have conversations with yourself. Quit letting these people trick you into thinking you crazy because you having a conversation. Sometimes you might have to talk your way out of something. Talk you off the ledge. Talk you from doing something you ain't got no business doing. Sometimes you talk to you better than anybody else can talk to you. Especially if you the only person that's speaking life into yourself. Quit letting these people play with y'all. Don't Kevin Gates say that too. For real. I can't remember what song it is. Um what song is that I just heard? I can't remember what song it is. But he be like, all geniuses talk to themselves. Talk to themselves. I can't remember what song it is. But he do, he be like, all geniuses talk to themselves. I gotta remember what song that is. I gotta remember what that is. Cause what the you said time to, yeah, I saw it. I be there. He gonna be there. Hey Trey man, what's going on? Said, hey yo, dog, meat, street, street, slash, cocoa puff, sweet. You know, sometimes I think I was a rapper in a former lifetime. Like, cause where it be coming from? DMX just be coming through like all the time. He was a Sagittarius. You know, I'm just saying. Hey, Thurman Lee Highsmith, what's going on, darling? Yeah, that ain't their business why you talk to yourself. Let people think what they want to think. That ain't your problem. I tell y'all that all the time. Listen, I gotta. I can't wait to introduce something to y'all. I was trying so hard to be quiet about it. It's hard. Cause baby, yeah, they real dehydrated, ain't they? You are well. That's beautiful. Yeah, I got something, baby. What they think? I'm telling you. That used to be my favorite saying. What they think. I got something for y'all for that. Yes, I do. Yes, I do. Absolutely, I do. I do. I do. I do. I do. I do. Yeah. Yes, Arya. It's the same thing. If you write for yourself, Arya said it's weird because you're encouraged to write for yourself, but not talk to yourself. It's the same thing, a verbal expression. I'm telling you. People just want something to call crazy. It's like, shut up. Sit back. Maybe you need to talk to yourself. You know, because baby, I don't just talk to myself. I sing to myself because it make me feel good. Okay. Yeah, I dance with myself. Quit playing. Mike Priester. Hello, darling. Oh, thank you, darling. Yeah, but I'm telling y'all that, I don't know. Maybe that's relevant for some autumn dreams, because why I just bring autumn dreams up like that? And I don't know what Drika did, but she broke my heart playing. I don't know. But the way that man, listen, one thing about a man and him expressing himself, he gon' a healthy. Come on now, let's talk about it. A healthy, emotionally intelligent, and balanced, spiritually balanced, and healthy man, he's very calculated in his expressions and in what he does. Okay, listen, y'all. Man, I listened to this man. I just happened. We was talking about Kevin Gates on here on the channel one day, right? I promise. Soon as I got off of here and I'm doing my stuff, and I went to go edit my I went to put some edits on my Instagram, right? The first thing pop up on my thing is him. A video of him talking about what happened to him and what he's been silent about, okay, in regards to her. I don't, I don't fuck. But so I was like, dang. But it's so crazy because I remember before that, a while ago, I remember seeing a video of him and he was talking and his voice was cracking. And I'm like, I don't know. I wonder if anybody else can see what I see when he says it's just this. I don't know. I don't know. I really want to have a one-on-one conversation with this man. Because I'm going to know if... I don't know. But one thing, though, you can feel a person's... An empath. An empath can feel other people's emotions strongly. Okay? Now, if you just growing into your path as an empath and you just now getting to know yourself, you may not be able to feel people as strongly. Okay? Give it some time. Give it some time. Because, baby, if you continue on that journey, oh, it's going to grow. It's going to grow. And you're going to have to learn how to balance it out. Or it could affect you. Because you're going to consume energy in a way that you ain't never before. You're going to be able to feel everything. You can feel everything. Not only are you going to, this is why you got to make sure your stuff is balanced as an empath. Because not only do you have to feel your own feelings, emotions, and what it is you're going through or dealing with, or maybe going through or dealing with. Not only are you going to feel that, you're going to feel others. You're going to feel others. And the more you grow, the more you're going to feel. The more you elevate on your path, the more you're going to feel. The more you continue to walk through them doors on that path, the more you're going to feel other people spiritually. You going to be able to feel them emotionally. You going to feel them. And it's going to be heavy. And you're going to have to learn how to balance it out. And then you're going to have to learn how to separate your personal feelings in life. You're going to need that discernment for this. But you're going to have to separate your personal feelings and emotions from others' personal feelings and emotions. Because if you don't know how to balance that out and you don't know how to separate it, you're going to be triggered all the time. You're going to be feeling like, what the... I'm just saying, okay? Got to be more careful. All right. Hey, Time. What's going on, darling? How you feeling, darling? Well, hello, Stephen from Ireland. My channel is about growth. Growing better together. Okay? Look. Teamwork. Make the dream work. Let me shuffle the affirmation, give y'all this positive affirmation. Okay, we an hour in, baby. For whatever reason, maybe somebody needed some of that. I don't know, because I still got to go over the members and do on the positive note message and break this dream down and share these names and numbers and stuff that showed up in that dream. Because this ain't just for me. So a lot of that stuff that was in that dream is not just for me. I know what was for me, what parts was for me, and what parts I resonate with on a soul level. The rest of that's for somebody else. Because it ain't... I I don't know. It's a lot. And I got how many names? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14 names. 14 names. Dollar amounts. And 5, 6 numbers. So, listen. I'm talking about specifics. Whatever these details is important to somebody. Okay. What's the positive affirmation for today? You said sometimes you notice things and walk out the room and say, "Ew, pass." For real. Got to. Got to. Creativity. Creativity is the affirmation that came out. We just got this yesterday. So somebody need to go watch the message we did live yesterday. Not last night, yesterday. Okay? Wisdom on the top. Calmness on the bottom. I'm tired of saying it. Your creativity calms you. Not only does it calms you, it helps build your wisdom, insight. It even directs you, guides you even. Okay? Your creative nature, your creative nature is what builds you in ways that okay. I'm not reading it. You know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna read wisdom. You got courage under that. Yeah. I heard your creative, calm nature. It's something about being creative and calm. Just be mindful and courageous. I'm going to read wisdom because we haven't gotten this one in a really long time. Okay? Oh, that's interesting, Enchantress. Oh. You just gave me an idea for what one of my next paintings is going to be. Oh, I see that one. I love being a visionary. You hear me? I thank God and my ancestors for giving me that gift, baby. Because what? I love being a visionary. I love it. Wisdom. It says, wisdom is the fundamental gift that the journey of life offers. Every day is a new opportunity to learn something new about ourselves or about life in general. Every day is a new opportunity to learn something new about ourselves or about life in general. From our experiences, both positive and negative, from our thoughts and interactions, from our successes and our mistakes, we can develop wisdom and use it to enrich our lives and to impact the world to the best of our abilities. Listen if Kevin Gates just come on this radio. God. Okay, listen. It's giving doppelganger, copycat. That's what I'm picking up on. Y'all, listen to me. Alexa, pause. I gotta see what song this is. Hold on. Alexa, continue. Alexa, volume up one. I think this song called Push It. Alexa, what's the name of this song?
This song is Push It by Kevin Gates.
Alexa, volume down one. Alexa, pause. In the beginning of this song, he say, don't quote me, some along the lines of people thinking they can be you better than you can be you. Okay? That's what just gave me the copycat doppelganger energy. Okay? Somebody is trying to duplicate someone's creativity. Somebody think they can copy and create something better than someone else. They try to listen, baby. They said they ain't you because they don't carry your wisdom. They said they forgot they need the wisdom to go with the creativity, and they don't have it. Shit. Hold on. The affirmation for wisdom is, I cherish and nurture the wisdom that life provides me. I will never stop learning and improving. I should, yeah. Man, what is wrong with people? Listen here. I don't know what's wrong with people. Somebody could have tried to steal somebody's idea, or tried to cloak themselves in someone's energy, or tried to do something that someone they thought it was a good idea. Baby, they went for that leap. But baby, listen. You know, people ancestors got a funny way of putting that block in place on people. You know, for them people that like to siphon your energy, they like to try to steal your energy. They like to try to mask themselves in your fucking energy because they know their energy is trash. Because they know they can't be you like you can be you. So they try to duplicate you. There's no fucking duplication. You can't duplicate this. You cannot duplicate creativity and wisdom. Somebody's creativity comes from their wisdom, or their wisdom comes from their creativity, or it's just balanced out and it's just like, hey, okay, like it's. Somebody probably saw something and said, hey, let me get that a try. That looked like something I could do. Uh, uh. Y'all, this giving me and literally, like, it's really, somebody got a nasty ass energy. Like, it's making me want to gag. It's making me want to. I really just got nauseous. Somebody got a nasty energy, like nasty, and I don't. They could be nasty, like dirty nasty, house nasty. They trifling. Somebody trying to steal something of someone's, or they tried. Somebody tried to take somebody's energy and used it. Somebody thought they could misuse someone's creativity and wisdom. It's giving fuck around and find out. It's giving somebody, oh, yes. Hey, listen, let me tell y'all something, right? People who try to duplicate you and mask themselves. This is the part about spirituality where people they get it wrong and they don't know. When you try to siphon someone's energy and you try to copy that individual's energy or wisdom or creativity, let me give you an example for wisdom, okay? Say like someone is really spiritually gifted, right? Naturally spiritually gifted. They ain't gotta mix nothing. They ain't gotta project nothing. They have the ability to speak things. They have the ability to call in and call out and remove if and when necessary. They're not abusive of their power. They're not ignorant to their power either. So listen here, right? Say like if you are someone who is divinely guided, okay? You are divinely guided. And you don't do no evil, hateful, spiteful, nothing, right? So you walk in your light fully. And you got somebody that ain't so light, that don't have a light heart, that don't got a light bone in their body. They full of darkness. They full of hate and they full of evil. And they try to mask themselves in your energy. They take the enlightenment and divine guidance and wisdom that you could, for example, they take what you give out to the world for free and try to profit off of it. They take it, you could be a divine prophet, honey, okay? You could carry a gift of prophecy. There are people who will take your divine gift of prophecy and market it in a church or anywhere else. I know they do. How I know they do? Because it's been done to me. Okay. I've seen it. Okay. And one of the people that I knew that did it for sure, when I went to challenge them on things they said and spoke and preached about, they got upset and couldn't explain no further than, because I told y'all I can meet you at your level. It don't matter what the level is. God and my ancestors gifted me that way. I can meet you at your level. I wasn't guided to study multiple religions and all of that stuff for no reason over the course of the last 15 years. I know I wasn't. I know I wasn't. I know I wasn't. And I told God, whatever reason you had me do all this work for, just prepare me and make sure I'm ready for whenever the time comes that I need to use anything you had me in preparation doing and preparing me for. Okay? So let me tell you something. If you are someone who gives divine guidance and baby, listen, you know, you know that you are of the lights. You know that you a strong prayer warrior and you intercede on others' behalf. You notice the energy you carry. And it's people trying to take that energy and take your wisdom that was given to you by your ancestors. Trusted, you were trusted with this energy, right? You was trusted with this wisdom, okay? And someone is taking it and using it to profit off of it. Just know, if that is happening, whoever that someone is, they owe you. They're going to forever be in debt to you. If they don't give you your shit back, or they don't put an end to that nonsense that they speaking, that they wasn't divinely guided to speak, nor is that creativity theirs, that didn't come from the source itself, They owe you. Know that. Just know that. Just know that. A lot of people miss that fact. A lot of people miss that part. They be so stuck on the part of, oh, well, I could just take this and put my own little spin. No, don't spin shit. You can't spin this, baby. You can't put no spin on somebody's creativity and wisdom as an individual. Authenticity, you can't spin somebody's authenticity. You could try, but I just heard that's your ass. Take it where it resonates. That's gonna be your karma to endure. Okay, don't be out here trying to mask yourself and cloak someone else and mask yourself in their energy. Stupid. This is what you are. A fucking dummy. You's a dummy. You's a dummy. If you doing stuff like that, you's a dummy. You's an idiot. And you deserve every bit of whatever it is that person, ancestors, is sending your way. You deserve it tenfold, over and over again. You deserve it. Every bit of it. Because how dare you try to take... You see how much I know you? I ain't even got to know. How dare you try to take something that was divinely given and gifted to another? How dare you try to take something and put your spin on it that was intended for someone else to use, who was divinely gifted and given and guided to do whatever this is, this wisdom and creativity they hold? How dare you? How dare you? And that ain't me saying how dare you, because I know the consequences of people doing stuff like this. I just sit back and wait. I'ma forever not give a fuck. I'ma sit back and wait. Because God and my ancestors going to show me who, what, when, how, where, when, and why. So, just keep that in mind. If ever you try to intentionally sabotage a person so they take a L and you can try to project their way the negativity and downfall that you truly deserve, so you can steal their creativity and their wisdom, you deserve every bit of karma that swing back your way. However long it takes, you deserve that shit. If you end up taking that loss that you projected towards someone else, you deserve it. If you end up having to eat your karma because of what you did to somebody else, you deserve it. Every bit of it. I had to eat my karma. We all do. But you know what the key is? You learn how to treat yourself so that you know how to treat others better. Because when you learn how to treat yourself, you're not going to be out here mishandling others or their creativity and wisdom. You're going to know better. You're going to know, oh, no, I ain't going to do that. God is not going to be pleased. And baby, even if you don't believe in God, this is why I tell people, I don't care who you are. I don't care your religion, your spirituality. I don't care if you're an atheist, baby. You can come over here and sit with us. We can talk about it because I can meet you at your level. When I say that, that's what I mean by that. That's why I say everybody is welcome to my channel. I don't care what you believe in or don't believe in. Come sit with us. Let's talk about it because we can have a conversation. It ain't going to change and stop me from believing in God. It's not going to stop me from believing in who I am as an individual or knowing God for myself or within myself. And it's not going to stop me from knowing myself. That's between you and whoever you deem as your higher power source or whatever the lower case is. That's between y'all. It ain't got nothing to do with me. I do my job daily. So if you are someone who likes to cloak others' energy, manipulate others' energy, steal and siphon others' energy, because you just happen to like their creativity and you happen to like their wisdom and how wise they are, and you happen to like that they have the ability to teach, appreciate them. If you like that shit so much, show them some love, appreciate them, help them get along on their path or their journey if you can. Don't be a dry hater sitting in the background watching, taking notes, trying to see what you can get the. You deserve whatever karma you get. And eventually you're going to have to eat that karma. Yes, you are. It's inevitable. I don't care how many times you try to stir up something. Yeah, that horn. It don't matter. That don't matter. Law is law. Spiritual law, universal law, baby, that's law. God law. I don't care what you want to call it. It's law. The energy you put out, the actions you take, you got to eat your karma for that. If you cause somebody else to take a loss that don't deserve it, if you cause someone else to miss out on an opportunity that was destined and meant for them, okay, due to their creativity or wisdom, just know you got a loss to take. And it's going to be worse. I tell you all the time, our karma is our actions. You got to eat your karma. Be it now or later, baby. Let me tell you how God moves and how some people ancestors really work. They'll let you think you're getting away with some shit for a long time. I'm talking about they'll let you go on your little high horse, baby, and be riding off into the sunset. Then that horse gonna stumble. Your ass gonna hit the ground. Because you ain't had no business. You had no business. You had no business trying to sabotage another so that you could gain something. You had no business doing a person wrong so that you could gain something. You had no business trying to manipulate situation, places, people, or things, or an individual just so you could gain something. Just because you wanted to be like how they are, because you wanted their energy, because you wanted to be able to use their creativity and their wisdom, because you lack it. You know why you lack it? Because you're the type of individual that like to do shit like that, like playing people's energy and steal people's energy, creativity, and wisdom. So now somebody gonna have to have courage. That's what you're gonna need. You're gonna need courage. You're gonna need courage. Because maybe if you would have chose, because we all go through a test. And for all the people that like to move in darkness with ill intentions, it's a test for you too. Goofy, you gonna go through a test too. You gonna go through a test too. And if you fail the test, you just fail the test. And you have to go receive the consequences for whatever actions you took in the midst of that test. Okay? So just know, when you cloaking energy and you're siphoning energy and you're taking people's energy and you playing on people's kindness and you think it's a weakness and you trying to steal others' creativity that they put their blood, sweat, tears, and hard motherfucking work in, if that's you, just know you owe. You gonna owe whoever you stealing from. And until you pay that debt, I'm telling you, you're gonna forever be in debt to them. So say if you a person that don't believe in past life, after life, or that you've been here multiple lifetimes, this could be your first time around, okay? People have old souls for a reason. People have old souls for a reason. They've been here multiple lifetimes. My 16-year-old, that boy been here. He been here. He ain't nothing new. He ain't nobody new. He been here. He been here. I'm tell you what I know. That boy been here. So if you don't believe in that, I feel for you. Because if you do some here and you think it ends here and you're going to take it to your grave, baby, not only are you taking it to your grave, you taking it to your next lifetime. And you're going to take it and repeat that cycle again. And you're going to have to eat your karma in the next lifetime. While your children or grandchildren or they children are going to suffer because they're going to be paying off that karmic debt that you accumulated in this lifetime. That's how it works. That's how it goes. So it's best that you pay off your own karmic debt and you right your own wrongs so that your children and your grandchildren and their children don't have to suffer paying off your karmic debt. One way or another, the debt got to get paid. It has to be paid. You have to right your wrongs. Well, you don't have to do shit. But you should right your wrongs. Because you're going to carry that debt. That spiritual debt. That karmic debt. You're going to carry it. And if you pass away with unhealed or uncleared karmic and spiritual debt, you're leaving that debt. You know how people be like, oh, well, they in debt financially and they done died and left a bill. That's the bill you passing away and leaving to the generations to come. So you have the opportunity and you have the chance to do the healing work. Right your wrongs, change your behavior. You have a chance and an opportunity for as long as you waking up and you opening your eyes here in this physical reality we are in. For as long as you open your eyes and as long as you wake up every day and as long as you receive that opportunity every day that you should be thankful for, you should be showing and expressing gratitude for that, okay? But for as long as you are opening your eyes, you have an opportunity to right your wrongs and correct your karma. You do. Yes, you do. Not everybody chooses to do that because it's hard work because you got to do the healing work. Then you're going to go through some more tests because that lesson that you feel when you took that false, fake, crazy ass action against somebody who didn't deserve it. When you did that, you accumulated some shit. And you're going to have to find a way to release that shit. Or you're going to continue to carry that shit. So say if you are an individual who does not have children, you're going to carry your karma into your next lifetime. Your soul and your spirit going to be so familiar with the chaos that you passed away and had already accumulated in this lifetime. Okay? You're going to relive all that. You're going to go through the same tests, the same challenges, the same obstacles. Because if you don't get it right here, you're going to have to continue until you get it right. So while people be fighting and chasing money and you chasing a bag and you want everything everybody else got and you envious and you jealous and you walk around with this hateful, evil, jealous, low vibrational, demonic energy on you, it's ugly and it stank. But while you walking around with this energy on you, you're supposed to be healing. You're supposed to be healing them demons. We talked about this earlier in the video. Those are your demons that you have to fight. That's a part of your lower self that you have to fight and climb up. Get your energy up. That's been my business slogan since I started my business. Get your energy up. You know why? That's my business slogan. Because that's your purpose. Is you getting your energy up. You clearing your karmic path. You elevating your soul and healing your spirit. You doing the healing work and you allowing yourself to go through the healing process is you getting your energy up. You learning how to treat yourself and learning how to love yourself helps you learn how to treat and love others and not be so hateful, envious, or jealous. That's a part of you getting your energy up. That's a part of you growing into your higher self consciously. You could do it consciously. So just know, if these are actions that you have taken against another who did not deserve it, now let me tell you something about fairness, balance, and justice, right? If you cause an injustice to another, you are going to forever be indebted to that individual. Okay? Until you right that wrong, until you do that healing work. The hardest part about your healing process is admitting you were wrong, taking accountability, and doing the work to heal whatever that was that you did wrong. Okay? It also requires you to give back what the fuck you took from another or tried to take. Because sometimes people be thinking they done took something, but that be people ancestors playing tricks on that mind, baby. And when shit hit the fan, you gonna lose. You gonna be out of your mind. You know why you gonna be out of your mind and psychologically off? Because you tried to take some from somebody who you can't take from. When that paranoia kick in and your mind playing tricks on you, and you don't know who, what, when, where, how, and you don't know which direction to go, and you don't know what to do, you did something you ain't had no business doing. The only way for you to heal that and work through that chaos, that mental chaos and conflict, is for you to right your wrongs. That's God's way and people's ancestors' way of making you stand on business. Stand on that shit. You gotta stand on it. That's also a part of you walking in your truth. For you to heal, you gotta actually walk in your truth fully. You know, you gotta talk about your wrongs. See, I done had my channel over 5 years. I done told a whole lot of my story, a whole lot of parts of my journey. When I was wrong, when I wronged others, and when I was done wrong. A whole lot of parts of my journey. You know why? Because I know my journey, me healing those parts of my journey, not only helps me in my healing process with my children, it's going to help somebody else. I would have never thought that. That thought would have never crossed my mind. But a real prophetess, when she sat and had a conversation with me, and she told me I had no choice but to make it through what I was going through because I had people to help and assist. This was years ago. Years ago. She said I had no choice but to make it through. I thought I was going to die. You hear me? I ain't make it through what? Who about to go through this? I can't do it. That was I can't. She said, yes, you can. And yes, you will. Firmly. With not a smile or firmly. Yes, you can. And yes, you will. Yeah. Because, and did. And is. People be thinking that they can cross people's paths and do them any kind of way because they may look at you. That be where people could get it wrong. People look at you and be like, you ain't never been through nothing. That's their fault for looking at you on the surface level. Okay? That's people's fault for looking at you on a surface level. You ain't never been through nothing. They see your substance there. They see it there. But they assume you don't know no better. They assume you ain't never been through nothing. But you went through your worst, maybe as a child, maybe as a teenager. You went through your worst. But it's people that'll look at you and be like, you ain't never been through shit. Look at you. You got this, you doing that, you look like this, you been. I'm just saying. That's their fault though. But they look at you and think they can take from you. They think they can take your creativity. They think they can take your wisdom. They think they can hijack your life. But they don't know God put that opportunity in front of them to see you gonna do the right thing or you gonna do the wrong thing. Because you're gonna have to answer for doing the wrong thing. Even though you may think you're getting away with it temporarily. Eventually you gotta answer for that. Okay? So just know, them people that took from you, they in debt to you until they right they wrong. They're going to have to sit their ass back and keep going through whatever it is they have to go through and going to keep enduring whatever it is. It's going to keep happening. They made you miss out on some financial opportunities because your creativity and your wisdom was supposed to bless you in the highest light. God had it set up that way. Your ancestors had it set up that way. Just know they in debt to you until they pay that shit off. Until they give you back what's yours that they took. It's going to be a whole lot of suffering. One way or another, however that may be. But you can't think that you could just be out here. I tell people all the time, you can't treat everybody just any kind of way. It's a lot of people that have wrong done to them that don't deserve it. It's a lot of people that take L's that they didn't put themselves in a position to take. It's a lot of people that have things done to them that shouldn't be done to them, but it's being done to them to save face, to protect somebody's job position, or to protect somebody's family, or protect somebody's career. But what about the person you stepping on, or trying to step on, rather? What about the person you taking from? What about their family? What about their children? What about their career? What about their life? You got to really think now. We don't have these heads for nothing. Some of y'all feel with air, but, I digress. You got to really think. Bash don't just happen to people for no reason. And then some of us go through bad because of other people who are bad for no reason, just because they can. They abuse their power, they abuse their authority, they abuse their position, they abuse their What's a good word for it? They abuse they relative card. It's just like, come on now. Got to do better. Got to do better. You got to do better. You can't take from everybody. Now, say for example, if you meet somebody, you come across somebody's path, and they even that's wrong, but you come across somebody's path, they on the same demon time as you. They in the same low vibrational energy you're in, right? Both of y'all some the trifling individuals. Okay? Oh, do your thing. You know that's fairness right there. Y'all both janky. So do your janky thing, right? But if you come across somebody that's balanced and they minding their business, trying to make a living and trying to live their life wholesome, whole, not half, not broken, not pieced, but whole. And they just trying to navigate through life and do what they need to do to provide for their family, male or female, no matter who it is, child, it don't matter. But you run into somebody that's genuinely just trying to grow as an individual, who walking in a truth, who's standing and sitting in daylight. They don't bother nobody. They ain't harming nobody. They ain't causing hell in nobody's life. They ain't causing chaos in nobody's life. They just existing and living, doing what they gotta do. And you try to take from that person. You try to take this person wisdom. You try to take this person creativity, but they had to work hard. They had to work hard for their ancestors and for God to trust them with that. They was divinely guided. Remember we talked about the divine guidance. They had to work hard. You know, God chose and their ancestors chose to trust them. And you thought you was gonna take that from somebody? No, not from that person. That not from the light. You think you gonna take from the light and it's okay? No. Mm-mm, mm-mm, mm-mm. And you better be careful, because there's a lot of people in their light that's just very much balanced in their energy. Because I tell y'all, we all have light and dark energy, our higher, lower selves, right? We all have it. It's about what energy do you choose to move in daily. Are you helping or hurting others? Are you healing or causing the issues that others need to heal or are going to have to heal through? Because it matters. Are you forcing people to go through tragic situations or circumstances or traumatic situations and circumstances? Or are you helping others heal those traumatic experiences? It matters. Because that determines whether you move in your light or your dark energy. If you still navigating life in your higher or lower self. So just be mindful when you trying to siphon somebody's energy, manipulate somebody's energy, play on somebody's energy that you may think they naive or because they lighthearted. See, this is what people be messed up at. You come across people that's lighthearted. You know, they got a full heart, a whole heart, and you be like, them energy vampires, baby, they be on the prowl. And you think you could just be taking they lighthearted energy or manipulate it or abuse it or misuse it. You can't. You can't. You're gonna suffer for that. You gotta suffer for that. You're gonna suffer for that. And that light being that you took from or tried to steal their creativity and wisdom, I guarantee you're gonna catch a glimpse of that individual. Probably in your dream state. Or you just gonna see things that remind you of them often at times. You know why you being reminded of this person? Because you got to get them their shit back. You owe that person. If you took for that person and you caused an injustice or caused an injustice to someone, you did something to somebody that didn't deserve it, minding their business, you owe them. They gonna keep popping up. You gonna keep seeing their face. They gonna show up in your dream state. They gonna always be in the, you're still in the back of my mind. You gonna still have them in the back of your mind because you ain't healed whatever you hurt or broke or took. You ain't healed it. You ain't healed it. You ain't tried to heal it. You ain't offer an apology. You didn't offer a solution. You didn't try to help. You didn't try to do nothing. All you did was hurt and left that hurt right there. All you did was took and kept on going. You ain't think to look back and say, damn, I messed that up. Dang, I messed up. Let me fix that. Let me just be honest. You'd be surprised. It's a lot. If this is a light being, an individual that walks in their light, just they tend to be really graceful, I hear. Very forgiving. We are. But at the same time, we also know there's consequences and repercussions for certain actions against us or our children. Okay. You hear the sirens? Yeah, baby. They said it's coming to an end. Whatever it. Yeah. They said we just getting started. All right, let's get it started. Hey, I really need to find. Yeah. Okay, now. I'm going to leave this here. An hour and 46 minutes, baby. I don't know what all that was for. Apparently it needed to be said. But I am getting ready to still get off of here and go over there and do the on a positive note message and members and drop this dream with all these names and numbers and all of that stuff in it. Because that was something else, okay? Somebody need to pay attention to their dreams. For real. Because all that talk about dreams in the beginning of the video, that was relevant. Somebody need to be paying attention to their dreams. Okay? Reese's. Oh my goodness. How did I miss that? Reese said they only see after the struggle. That's crazy to me. How could you look at a person and assume they've never been through? I think everybody been through something. And yeah, I could be wrong. I'm sure I am. But that's just how my mind works. I feel like everybody been through something. Something. You know something my landlord said to me a couple weeks ago? We was just talking and he was like, I said, man, I really appreciate you. Like, and I said it because, and he said he appreciated me, but I said it because he's genuinely a good, kind-hearted man. I'm talking about genuinely just who he is as an individual. Genuinely just a kind-hearted. And me and my neighbor was talking about him last summer. And I'm like, we was talking about how good of a person he is as an individual, how good of a person he is. And okay, love you too. Be careful. And he was like, he said he appreciated me. But I said it was just the fact of never. Do you hear me? Never. Never. I don't ever remember a time that I've ever had a good landlord. And I've always been a good tenant. You hear me? Always. Always. I remember even if I stayed in apartments, right? No, can't say that. Because this lady, yeah, She was from Detroit. She was from Michigan. I can't say she was from Detroit, but she was from Michigan, and she was the old apartment manager somewhere I lived a long time ago. Right, I lived there for about 5 years, but she was another one. But she was one of them tough love type of mamas, type of energies, right? But I respected and appreciated her so much because she was just different. And it don't be so much of the fact of it's just how people approach you, just respectful. They just was respectful and just like kind hearted, naturally, genuinely just kind. I love that. I can't stand fakey, flaky as hateful for no reason people. I do not like that. It is so disturbing to my spirit. I fucking hate it. Like, I hate it. I do not like it. To just be an asshole for no reason is insane to me. I will never understand that. I will never understand a ignorant, nasty, disrespectful demeanor for no reason. You like that? Why? So I've dealt with a lot of really bad landlords. You hear me? And I've always been the type to where that's what we was talking about. Cause I've always been the type to where if something happened or go wrong, I don't mind fixing it because I'm living there. So I don't mind fixing it. I don't mind doing what needs to be done around the yard. Listen, I didn't have nothing when I moved in here. You hear me? I was at one point trimming my bushes with scissors. Cause I don't like a ugly yard. Period. So I was doing trimming the edges of the yard, the grass and everything, pulling with my hands and trimming the bushes with scissors. And everybody was looking at me like I was crazy. But I didn't give a damn. I didn't care. But my neighbor, one of my neighbors, and he don't live over there no more. I don't think. I don't know. But he came out and with his weed whacker, and he gave me a trimmer, and he started doing the yard, and I finished with the bushes. You feel me? Just normal, kind-hearted, neighborly things. Okay, but even with my neighbors, like wintertime, I shovel. I don't pull in or out of the driveway ever, right? But I shovel the driveway when it's snow outside. I shovel. I help the neighbor that helped me with my yard. I helped him shovel his day yard over there. It's an apartment building next door, but I helped him shovel over there before. It's just normal shit to me that people just don't fucking do, and it's just like, why? Why? And I barely talk to anybody because I'm not outside much unless I'm going to work or going to work out or going to the park. That's it. And then I talk to everybody and stuff. But that's it. But he was like, we was talking and he was like, he just was smiling. He said, you don't gotta be hesitant to call me if you need something fixed or repaired, because my fence in the backyard, the part of the fence had the wind blew it down, and me being me, I'm out there pushing the fence back up trying to fix it, and I had forgot I was supposed to call him and forgot all about it, but when I was talking to him and I was like, I mentioned it because I had remembered while we was talking, but he's like, he laughing like, you don't gotta hesitate to call me. He a good landlord, like the best I've ever had. You hear me? The best. The man deserve a reward for as many properties that he take care of. Do you hear me? Like, and keep them up. It's not a lot of people that do that. No, and I'm talking about it's a lot of properties. But and then I remember one time my furnace had went out a couple winters ago, and it was freezing. I'm talking about freezing. This man came at night. It was about 10, 11 o'clock at night. He came and fixed that furnace because it was something simple. It's a energy something. It was new. It's new though, so it wasn't. It was something simple, but it was just the fact that he was willing to come that late at night and fix that furnace, so me and my kids wouldn't be in here cold. That matters to me. Like all the little shit people be worried about these landlords, that don't matter to me. That don't matter to me. The kindness matters to me. You know why? Because I had a lot of shitty landlords. Okay? You being willing to get up at night, and this is not somebody who lay around, the man work all day, every day. He runs a business as well, right? So, and a big, he got a company. So it's like you work all day. Cause not do he just run the company? He works. So I'm like I didn't want to call him because I know the man work all day. He dealing with employees that it's a lot when you dealing with a lot. So I don't be wanting to bother him because if it's something I can take care of or I can figure out, I'ma do it. I'ma do it, right? But I couldn't fix that furnace because I didn't know nothing. I don't know nothing about no furnace. So fix the furnace? No, baby. I'm cold. So, but it's just the fact of the willingness to show up, the level of respect, the appreciation and gratitude. When I pay that man my rent every month, I write thank you on the envelope. You know why? Because I appreciate him being the type of individual that he is. I appreciate his willingness to do things that need to be done. I appreciate the fact that, baby, because listen, let me tell you. Yeah, let me tell you. At one point, it was so hard for me to pay my bills. You hear me? And I'm very, very anal about stuff like this. Cause I'm a person that really like paying bills. You hear me? I like paying my bills. I don't frown at it. I'm not complain. I don't. I like paying my bills, and I like paying my bills on time. I work my ass off to be able to do so. You hear me? So at one point, I didn't pay. I wasn't paying my rent on time because I ended up getting injured at one of my jobs, and then I was still trying to work. I was still going to work. Now, I don't know if y'all remember, I had a brace on my arm. I had a brace on my arm, and I was supposed to be wearing them on both of my arms because both of them was messed up. So I got injured. I was working for a post office on the line for a post office thing, right? But this lady had dropped these boxes on my fucking arm, like, and she just carelessly throwing this, and I'm just like, and I ain't the only person telling her stop. You hitting us with these boxes, but it ended up hitting mine, and it ended up hitting my arm and hand and everything swelled up so bad I couldn't move it. Y'all, I'm still going to work with this injury. Do you hear me? Still going to work with this injury, just working through it. Ain't cause that's how I am. You can't stop me. I don't give a fuck what you do. I don't give how you try to sabotage me. I don't care about that. Ain't for me to worry about. That's between you and God or my ancestors, whoever decide to step in on my behalf. Okay? My job is to continue to do my job. My job is to figure it out, navigate the situation, and keep pushing forward. What you do in the midst of me pushing forward through whatever you tried to cause, that's between you and God. It ain't got nothing to do with me. Ain't got nothing to do with me. My job is to keep going. So that's what I did. And then I took it as God trying to tell me to sit down because I ain't going to stop. I don't stop. It'll literally take for God to do something or show me something or my ancestors to snatch me up and say, all right, enough is enough. Sit down somewhere. But I said, okay, maybe if I get a job that I can actually sit. So I was working for a Secret Service Bureau. It just was something quick to do, just doing security sitting down. Okay. They placed me in this they placed me in a hospital, in a small hospital, like a very small private hospital, right? Um y'all, the whole day, my first day, I'm talking about I had a migraine so bad, and the guy was like, you can go home if you want to because you look really bad. I said, I'm all right. I'll be okay because I'm training. I'm training, but the whole time I'm here, I'm just like, this ain't for you. This ain't for you. This is not for you. That's all I keep hearing in my mind. And then this girl come and we was talking and she was like, you like she said, you like this job? I said, it's cool, we just sitting here though. She said, yeah, I'll get up and walk around from time to time. I'm not one of them. Like I like being active. I like actively moving around. I'm not about to just sit there and this, like I don't do that. That ain't me. So first and last day. First and last day. It was the first and last day. When you know something for you, it's for you. When you know something ain't for you, it ain't for you. When you spend a certain time at a job or in a position and that don't no longer suit you, or you grow out of that position and you know it's time to remove yourself from that, then you know when it's time to shift and adjust, right? Well, not everyone does, but I know when it's time for me to shift and adjust. I know what's for me and what's not for me. So that's what I do. Okay, because one thing that I do know is that God ain't never hesitated to provide a thing that I need. Never. Okay. But my landlord, you can't tell me that man ain't no angel. You can't tell me he ain't no angel hidden in plain sight in human form. You can't tell me that. I recognize that man's spirit. I told you I look at people on the soul level. I recognize that man's spirit the first day I met him. The first day I met him. That man said things to me that I was always already aware of. Okay? I look for certain signs and synchronicities in people because I'm going to see you in my dream before you show up on my path. Either I'm going to physically see you in my dream, I'm going to see you, or your name is going to be spoken in my dream. I got a neighbor, right? I saw this lady in my dream before I moved where I lived. I heard our names both called out. I ain't tell her this. I don't know if she watched me or not, but both of our names was called out, and they said, y'all up next. That's exactly what I heard. Me and her. They said, y'all up next. And we both got up and went and walked off, and I woke up. So, I pay attention to stuff like that. This is why I tell y'all, your dreams hold significant meanings. Your dream is going to tell you what's for you, what's not for you, when to go, when to leave, when to stay. Do you pay attention to the dreams? Okay? My landlord ain't nothing like No landlord I've ever had. I'm telling you, nothing. I remember one landlord I had, horrible. I'm talking about a true slum lord if you ever knew one. Truly, truly a slum lord. And the city gave him a reward. He received an award. Man, I filed complaints against this person. Somehow they got mysteriously drifted away. But that's nothing new to me because I'm used to me filing complaints against people and places and they disappear. So I filed complaints against this person. Somebody that I was dating at one time was also renting from this person. I knew somebody else that was renting from this person. And I'm just like, I asked them about him. And they like, man, he don't do nothing. He send these dudes over. And I'm like, why the hell are they giving him an award? Like, what is so good about him where he's receiving an award? Because he partnering with organizations who help house homeless people. Dirty as shit. Now, it's a lot of landlords that do that, right? It's a lot of landlords that do that, okay? I hope you're not a sinner, WSPUCE. Why you saying that, okay? But it was just interesting to me because there's a lot of landlords who have good hearts who do that. They help house homeless individuals and people who are unhoused and people who are waiting on housing and so on and so forth, right? But why him? The worst? I remember this man tried to walk in my house on my sons while I was at work. They was younger at this time. And my son called me. He said, Mom, somebody trying to break in the house. It's the landlord trying to get in the house. So I look at the cameras. It's the landlord trying to get in the house. And I'm like, can I help you with something? Oh, I was just coming in to see if, I said, my sons are in there. I didn't give you permission to go in my home, nor did you give me a 24 or 48 hour notice that you will be entering my home. Because I know better. Quit playing with me. I said, we don't have a maintenance emergency. What's your problem? That man, I'm talking about that man couldn't stand me. Because I know better. I know I look like I don't know shit, but I'm talking about this head so full. And I ain't talking about full of myself, because never. But I know better. You know, I know better. So I was like, I said what I said. Because I said what I said to the man. And he was like, but I said, no. I said, you're going to have to leave. Because what are you doing? Why would you be trying to walk up in my house with my sons? And at the time, they like, they, what, like 11? And, so, like they was younger. And I'm just like, or not 11, but yeah, it's just, it was just the fact that what the fuck are you doing? Why would you be trying to walk in my house like that? And I'm like, nah. So I'm focused on the cameras. But the man couldn't stand me because every time he tried to do something, I'm talking about I was reporting him left and right. Left and right. I had to report this man left and right. Called housing, the fair housing people and trying to report stuff. They ain't do shit. Nothing. You know what's funny? I ended up working for an organization and ended up meeting every person that could have helped me along A lot of stuff that I was dealing with. All the way back to when, if y'all not new here, y'all know about me telling y'all that story when these people flooded my place and refused to do anything about it for about a week. And me and my son ended up catching COVID because we sat in mildew for over a week. We sat in that mildew molded apartment. And they kept saying, oh, well, we'll have somebody do this and do. Nobody was coming. Then out of nowhere, after I say I can't sit here multiple times, this I still got the emails, baby. I'm telling you, when I keep receipts, I keep them. Flash drived out. I keep them. These emails were me telling this lady, pleading with this lady to send somebody to clear. Now I'm paying for a premium apartment, one of the most expensive ones in the fucking complex. Okay, supposedly it's supposed to be. That wasn't no premium, nothing. But they wouldn't come do nothing. And I'm just like, what's wrong with this lady? That's the lady I told y'all she didn't like me because I was doing readings. I know it's people, when I used to do readings, a lot of people ain't like me. They didn't care for me at all. Judge me, quick to misjudge me based off of what they see me doing. But you don't know me. You don't know shit about me. You just know what I'm doing. What I'm divinely guided to do. How dare you? So this was a lady I had never had a conversation with. Never had a conversation with this lady. But how I knew she didn't like me because of me doing readings, she told on herself in court. Because yes, I went back and forth to court with these people. Back and forth, back and forth. And it got to a point to where I got tired and just gave up. Because this stressful is, I'm trying to fight for my health, my son's health. We at the hospital coughing up blood because we done got sick. Our respiratory systems are infected because y'all don't want to come in here and get this water out these floors and these walls from y'all busting this wall pipe in the kitchen. But you know what they did? Mysteriously, the people that was living next door to me, they moved them upstairs. And the upstairs, and I said, dang, why they ain't move us? And I asked her in the email, can you give us another unit? I mean, what's going on? Can we be moved? Because why do y'all got us sitting here in this mold and mildew and I'm telling you about certain health conditions? So I just took it as, oh, okay, these people think I'm going to die in here. Y'all got me fucked up. Because what? At the end of the day, I'm still who I am and I know better. Now, if you'd have caught me about 10, 15 years ago, before that, baby, you probably would have got me. You probably would have got me because I ain't know much of shit. Not in regards to no self-healing items. Herbs, plants. Didn't know nothing about it then, but baby, when I tell you I know better. Yeah. When we ended up going to that hospital, because we was coughing up blood and we was sick and could barely move, whole bodies aching, we ended up catching COVID from sitting in that mold and that mildew. When we went to the hospital and they told us and they offered us that COVID shot, no, we don't want that. But thanks for telling us what's wrong so I can fix it. And when I got home, ended up getting most of that water out that floor. That was a daily thing. I gotta get the water out of the floor, try to air the whole place out, doing all types of stuff that these people should have been doing. Right? Got me and my son together in 2 days. 2 days. Cause don't play with me. I know better. Not even a whole 2 days. Days later, I'm up at it again, outside, to the gym every day, twice a day. Don't play with me. I know better. And not from no store-bought over-the-counter medication. Not from no hospital doctor giving signed prescription. From some home remedies. Some of which I received in my dreams. So I tell y'all, pay attention to your dreams. Because when you got these elders showing up in your dreams and they telling you you need this and that, you better listen and pay attention. You better listen and pay attention. If a child is showing up in your dreams, baby, you better know that's your spirit, baby. That's your spirit, baby. That baby showing up, giving you information, talking to you, you better listen, take heed. Because a lot of what I know and what I ended up studying came from my dream state. Me sleep. I write it all down. Whatever was given to me in my dream, it worked for me and my son. And we came up out of that in 2 days. Do you hear me? Can't tell me nothing. You could try. But when it comes to God and I tell you all the time, people be thinking I be joking. I don't listen to nobody. Not you can't tell me nothing. If you don't show up in your God light, you can't tell me nothing. I'm not going to listen to you. You got to have a light, a radiant light around you, or you can't tell me nothing. If you don't show up with God in you, you can't tell me nothing. If your spirit ain't screaming godly and whole and righteous, you can't tell me a thing. I'm not listening to you. I don't listen to nobody but God and my ancestors. That's it. That's how I'm still alive. I don't give a listen to who for what. Why? Give me a reason to listen to you. I don't listen to nobody just cause. That whole woman should listen to a man. If that man ain't radiating with no light and he ain't talking from his God vessel, you can't tell me nothing. Not a thing. Nothing. Nothing. No. 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 Cause I know better. I'm not naive to a damn thing. I know better. So yeah. I done dealt with a lot of shitty individuals. So I appreciate and I respect my landlord, the utmost. I pray for that man daily. Do you hear me? His health, his well-being, and his riches, because he deserves it. He deserves it. He deserves to grow and have something to pass to his children. Him and his wife deserve that peace. They good people. I don't pray for nothing and nobody. No, I don't care. No organization, no nobody, no nothing that ain't good. If it ain't a God light radiating off of you, no, I'm not. I wouldn't dare waste a prayer. I know the power of prayer, and I know the power of my prayers. I wouldn't dare. I'm not praying for nothing that do evil to others, that hurt others, that sabotage others. I would never, not an organization, not a school. Do you hear me? Not a none of that. Nothing. Nothing. You know what I pray in regards to stuff like that? Schools, protect them children. Watch over them children and keep them from the harm of them evil spirits floating around as teachers and administrative staff. Protect them from that. Protect them from the evil that walk through them doors, that keep them from having a future because of wherever they come from or whatever challenges their parents or whatever obstacles their parents go through. Protect them from that evil shit. That's what I pray. I don't care about nobody doing no evil. hateful, jealous, envious, spiteful, nothing. And will never. Not ever. And baby, listen, just like I see people's God light, just like I can see the spirit in that soul, I can see the evil in you too. So if I see your evil and your hateful, and I know that it's active, because I can see that too, I ain't praying nothing good for you. You better know that. So if you ever make that assumption, just know you's a damn fool. And not the kind that God gonna bless. Not from me. It won't get a prayer from me. No, no, no. Absolutely not. When I was at that job I resigned from because they was trying to bully me out my position, when they was trying to bully me out my position and had people lying on me and trying to project stuff on me and saying I'm something I'm not, baby, when I canceled that and God said it's time to let it go, my ancestors showed up in my dreams. They gave me the instructions to release it, how to release it, how to go about it, and what to put in my letter of resignation. I do as I'm guided to do, when I'm guided to do it. Can't tell me nothing. Nah. That letter of resignation I gave them people was going to protect me. Because not only did they try to accuse me of theft, and then didn't even apologize. You hear me? These motherfuckers didn't even offer an apology after accusing me of theft. And this other people, another employee was like, I can't believe they did that. Like, they acting like they don't know how you do things, or how organized you are, or how detailed you are. Detailed to the T. Do you hear me? Ain't gonna miss a beat. And if I do, baby, we gonna go over it. Because I'm gonna go over everything I do to make sure it's right. Because what you're not gonna do is lie on me or falsely accuse me of some shit I didn't do. That's where I draw the line. That's where it becomes time to cut all ties. Because we ain't doing that. I done been lied on before. I done been accused of stuff I didn't do before. I learned them lessons. So that's what that's going to do, is make me go even harder. That's going to make sure I hold on to them receipts for you trying to play with me and falsely imprison or accuse me of anything. Take that horn as a, they said 2 times. Because don't play with me. I ain't dumb. I ain't no dummy. I ain't naive. I'm not an ignorant individual. At all. Not at all. Not at all. And not only am I smart, I'm highly gifted and intelligent. Highly. And choose not to put it on display like most of these janky people in the world try to portray to be something that they are not. And not to sit back and watch. Yeah. Kendrick, you said that's not. Yeah, I'm telling you, they will go out their way to try to sabotage you, but you got the wrong one, and always at the right time. Yeah, you got the wrong one, but always at the right time. Yeah, because the first thing you got to be careful with trying to falsely imprison and accuse people of things You gotta first make sure they ain't never been through nothing. You might want to even make sure that they might be a little trustworthy, because they could be the type of individual that don't trust nobody. So they come in the door prepared or recording or whatever the case may be that they may feel they may have to do to protect themselves. Because if they come in and they already and they anything like me, they intuition actually work, or they eyes work, they gonna see it coming before it even happened. You know what's crazy? My second week at that job, the one I resigned from recently, my second week on that job, I said, I ain't gonna be here long. I was there for a year. I said, I ain't gonna be here long. Because I seen the corruption walking in the door. Too soon. I'm not for that shit. I don't, no. I'm not a corrupted individual. I don't have corrupted intention. I don't have a corrupt mindset. So I'm not never gonna be okay with that. I'm never gonna be okay with you mistreating people in the community because of their circumstances. I'm never gonna be okay with that shit. So you know what I did? Sat back in my little space, in my little area, in my little workstation, and was criticized for it. Was criticized for it. I was told I was a bully because I set boundaries for my workspace. What was wrong with that? I don't go in nobody else's office or workspace and break stuff, throw stuff around, leave trash, steal, take things. I don't do that to nobody else, so why do I have to go through that? Why do I gotta allow that behavior towards me in my workspace? After being told multiple times and taking multiple trainings, all of us, everybody, the whole staff, take multiple trainings on setting boundaries in the workplace and speaking up for yourself in the workplace in a respectful manner. But the second I do it, baby, it's cool when they do it. But when I do it, one thing I know about me since I've been on this platform, this channel, because I'm very public about it. And some people see me and they know me. And some people see me and they don't know me. They ain't never come across me. But I don't hide who I am. I don't hide what I do. I don't hide my ability to see you. Because I want you to know I can see you. Okay? So people, they scared of that. That's one thing I've learned. I've had this platform over 5 years, and I've come across all types of walks of life. All types. Baby, I done been called demonic. I done been called the devil. I done been called a demon. I done been called everything but God's child. I done been called everything but what I show up as. It's crazy to me. Now, if I was showing up chaotic, demonic, and just hurting people and causing hell and doing this and doing that and causing chaos, if I was showing up like that, then maybe, just maybe, you probably could project that shit on me. But I don't show up like that, nor is that how I am as an individual. Ain't gonna never be. But for you to base that assumption off of me used to do readings, because I'm going to tell y'all, I stopped doing readings because of that job. Because I didn't want people to feel like I was talking about them. because I was at another job and I actually liked the job. I told you I used to love delivering packages for Amazon, and it's not the ideal job, but I loved it only because I got to be out in nature all day. I looked at it as a workout and me connecting with God on a daily basis. That's how I viewed that Amazon delivery job. I did it for multiple years. You hear me? So that's how I viewed that job. That's why it was so easy for me to do it. And people will always be like, I don't know how you do that all day. How you do that? Why would you do that to your body? Why you do that to yourself? It was good for my body. It helped me heal my body. I'm not everybody else. I see things differently. There's always going to be a bigger picture. And maybe that is my Sagittarian nature as a sun Sag, is to always see the bigger picture. There's so always going to be a bigger picture to me. I'm always going to look beyond the surface level of things. So I didn't care what nobody thought about that job. Do you hear me? When I was homeless and living in a shelter and living in a hotel, I was still working at Amazon job, delivering packages, still helping other people. Still, do you hear me? I was at another job helping take care of, they say nonverbal, but if you anything like me, everyone has communication skills. Okay. But these children that I was working with were nonverbal, okay, and disabled, most of them bedridden, right? So I loved that job. Do you hear me? I loved it because I love working with kids. I spent 6 years working with kids, helping kids, troubled teenagers, doing mentorship. 6 years I spent doing that, and I loved it. That was taken from me. I felt like that was taken from me, okay, from the people that tried to sabotage me. So here I am. Now I get to work with disabled kids. I like that even more. It was people that would try to interact with these children and they couldn't. These children was not responsive to them. But when I would interact with these children, they was responsive to me. So I knew that was a place for me to be at the time I was there. It's a short video on my channel of me singing. And I believe in the video I say, I'm at work sitting on the stairs and I had a moment or something like that, right? And in that video, I'm singing a clip from the movie Sister Act 2. The song, I believe it's Joyful, Joyful. But it's a short on my channel and me singing that song, right? Or singing a little part of that song. But I was sitting on the stairs. That was at that job where I was working with them disabled children. And it used to hurt my fucking soul. Do you hear me? At the time where I was working that job, I was homeless, living in a hotel, paying out of pocket every day. I needed that job. I needed that job because I'm paying out of pocket for this hotel room. Ain't nobody sponsoring it. Ain't nobody, I'm paying for this stuff, right? I still paying to live for me and my sons. So I was pissed. I'm talking about pissed because I go in a room and I see this girl who most of the staff would struggle with because this girl, I believe she was 16 years old and Caucasian girl, and she can't clothe herself, bathe herself, or any of that, right? She was left. Now, this not even my work area. Not even the side I'm supposed to be working on. But I'm just walking through. I'm new to the place, so I'm looking around. I walked in the girl room, and I'm like, what the fuck? She in there completely soiled. To the point where you can smell it. She in there crying, hollering. She crying, hollering, right? And I believe the girl is fed through a, what's it called, a J tube. She got a feeding tube. I can't remember what it's called. It's been so long since I did, medical stuff on that level. So, and that's terrible because that was stuff I studied and was certified to do. So to not remember it is crazy. But I was pissed. And I'm just like, one thing about me, when it come to kids, I take everything personal. Everybody kid, my motherfucking kid. You can't tell me no different. I take it very personal. There has never not been a time in my life where I treated another's child like they was my own. Never. Not a relationship, not a nothing. Never. Never, not one time ever in my life. I don't care, family or no family. It didn't matter who it was. So to be at this job, and I walk in this girl room, and she completely soiled. She crying, and everybody mad she crying, but ain't nobody going to check on her to see why she's crying. Why is she crying out? Because she wasn't just crying. It wasn't just like you could hear her. She wasn't just crying. You could hear she was in pain or something was wrong. It's levels to the cry. Okay? All you got to do is have a heart and pay attention. I went in there because I'm like, I'm going to go check on her. I ain't doing nothing else. I'm taking a break. Let me go check on her on the other side because I'm all the way on the other side of the building. On the other side of the whole downstairs area is the children's area. Like, so I'm way on the other side of the building. Why do I hear this girl screaming and crying? That don't bother nobody? Oh, she do that all the time. She do that all the time. Y'all don't think something wrong with that? That's just what it's a lot of. No. Y'all fucking lazy. Y'all lazy is the problem. That's the problem. Y'all lazy. Y'all don't want to do your job, but y'all want to receive that paycheck. So I go in there and check on her. She completely soiled. She got bruises on her. And I'm just looking, I'm like, y'all know she got bruises on her? But me being me, I document everything. Absolutely. Documented everything. Documented her bruises. Documented her being soiled. Documented her cry. Everything. In detail. Full detail. Reported it. Them people was pissed at me. You hear me? The manager in my area, she hated me. Pissed at me. She had to get me up out of there. And it was another lady. She was like, you better stop because they going to target you. They going to target you. I said, I don't give a fuck about a target. And they going to have to deal with God. I don't care about you targeting me. Hey, baby, listen. That wasn't the first time I was targeted. This shit been going on for years. You got to, like, come on now. You better ask around. I don't care about nothing about you targeting me. What do that mean to me? Nothing. Not a thing. Documented everything. Reported it. Because what if these was your kids? What if these were your children like this? Children, grandchildren, nieces, nephews, people you actually loved and cared about. What if they were a part of your bloodline? Would you still be treating them like this? Would you still be inconsiderate, selfish, and nonchalant? Remind you, these are These are children that cannot do a thing for themselves. They are solely dependent on the individuals taking care of them. It was crazy to me. Then there was a baby in there. I loved the baby. Listen, y'all, I love babies. I, oh, I love babies, but it was a baby in there, and it's like it was like three people that just was like always on the baby, right? But then to hear people complain, how could you complain? How are you fucking complaining about these babies' conditions like they chose this shit? How are you treating them like they are able, like these are still children with spirits and souls? And you think that's okay? That you're mishandling and mistreating them? That ain't okay. It ain't okay. So, yeah. So, yeah, the lady had to get me up out of there. She said, I can't talk to her and tell her, what you gonna tell me? You right, you can't tell me nothing because I'm watching how you move. You ain't never in there. And then you letting people do whatever they want to do. You shouldn't be no manager. You shouldn't be in no supervisor position. You can't supervise shit. Yeah, I think my problem always been I don't bite my tongue. Yeah, it must be the Sagittarian in me. Your buddy, it depends. Because sometimes I don't need my glasses at all. My eyes kind of just like do this thing where they adjust to certain lighting naturally. I don't, it's been happening for the last few years. For about the last 4 years, maybe. My eyes like kind of been correcting themselves, so to speak. And I've noticed that that's happened more because I wear my glasses less. I don't wear my glasses that much. Nope, I sure don't. Hey, Laura. Okay, Davy. You better say that. ML3808, you right. Why not be humble? Whoa! I'm telling you, what's wrong with humility? What's wrong with just being humble and just what's wrong? Why is that so frowned upon? Like, why is it so? It's crazy. It's like you condemned to be the worst for being a good person. It's fucking crazy, insane. And then I think about people that be doing me wrong for no reason whatsoever. And then I think about like if it's ever been a time where these are people who family members or children I might have taken care of in my life because I've taken care of a lot of people. I've taken care of a lot of children in a lot of places and a lot of people in a lot of places. So I just be thinking like you never know. I tell y'all, you never know who God ascend across your path or for what reason. You will never know until you know. That's why you gotta be mindful of how you entertain strangers. Because you never know. You never know. You never know. It's very disheartening. You said it's lame to be real these days. No, it ain't. That's the problem right there. That's the problem right there. It's never lame. It's never lame to be a real genuine, kind, compassionate, light-hearted, humble individual. It is never lame. Never. It's never lame. It will never be lame. What's lame is to be evil, hateful, spiteful for absolutely no reason, to cause harm and hell and chaos in others' lives for absolutely no reason. That's lame and very disheartening. But one thing my landlord said to me when we was talking a couple weeks ago, when we was standing in that man's driveway, and he said, good people need to help good people. That hit my heart. I'm talking about to the point where I've been thinking about it ever since he said it. Good people need to help good people. But how my mind is, it can go a lot of ways. How that statement there can go a lot of ways. You could use that in a lot of ways. But it's just like, why not be a good person? Why not? Why not have a good heart? Why not have compassion for others? Why not genuinely care? Why not be considerate? Why not lend a helping hand if you're able to? It don't make sense to me. It don't make sense to me. I know for sure I done helped a lot of people's parents, grandparents, elders. I don't know the people. But when I see them out in public at grocery stores and they struggling, I'm helping them. If I'm walking down the street, oh my God, y'all, listen. I wonder if that lady still live there. It was an older lady, an older Caucasian lady. No, she was Italian, an older Italian lady. And this lady, I didn't know the lady. But that same apartment complex I talked about where me and my son caught COVID because the mold and mildew thing. But the lady stayed right across from me, and she'd be like, "I love you," just for no reason. I don't know the lady, but she would always sit like fresh baked bread and stuff, and bring all types of stuff and sit it by the door for me and my sons all the time, just for no reason. The lady would always sit gifts, and it was all types of stuff. She would always leave it by the door, knock at the door and walk away, or ring the bell and walk away. And I just see her work. So what I did for one Mother's Day, I had bought some flowers and plants for her because I saw that she had plants and flowers in her window. So I said, okay, I'm gonna go find her some plants and flowers. So I went and bought her a card and some other stuff, but it was mainly the flowers and the plants. I loved that lady. Do you hear me? Because I don't know where she came from, but her love at that time was so needed. It was so necessary. But I'm talking about the lady used to leave gift bags, boxes, food, fresh baked items, all types of stuff, little trinkets and stuff. Um, but when I surprised her with them plants and them flowers, she was so happy. This older, she had to be like 60, 70 something, okay? But I'm talking about moving and grooving, baby. The lady, the lady was moving and grooving like nobody business, but she was so happy when I surprised her with that. That made my day. That she was what I was in that apartment for. I'm telling you, it couldn't have been nothing to nobody else. That lady was very necessary on my journey. Very necessary on my journey. I pay attention to stuff like that. My landlord, very necessary on my journey. Okay? I'm telling you, I pay attention to things the other people might miss. I don't miss a beat. I don't miss a beat. But it was that lady. Um, And I remember the lady had fell. I was so scared. One day, my son come running in the house and he like, "Ma, such and such fell." I said, "What?" He said she fell outside by the door. So I went and helped her. I went and we helped her in the house and got her in. But it scared me because I know a fall of an elderly and how that can go. Okay. Um, but it was a lady and her husband. It was funny, but it wasn't funny, that lived blocks away from there, right? And they live in this nice, I mean, it was a nice area where we lived, but they lived in this nicer area because you know how it's good and it's decent in one area. And then you go a little further down the road, baby, it get a little better, right? So it was we used to, me and my sons used to walk to the grocery store. We would walk everywhere. Walk to the grocery store, go grocery shopping. But it was the road we would take, right? And we was walking to Kroger, walking to the grocery store, and we on our way back. No, we was on our way there to the grocery store. And the lady was like, the husband was stuck. He was stuck on the ground because he was trying to fix something or do something. And I looked at my son. I said, something ain't right. Like either he hurt himself or he hurt, because he was just sitting there and she trying to get him up. I said, something wrong. And so my son, he's 16 now. He just like me. Like his heart, baby. If that was ever my heart, him and my daughter, they got that. They got that for sure. But he, I said, go help him. I said, just go help him. I don't know what's wrong. Don't even ask. Just help them. Ask them what they need help with. So my son went, and I probably did that too much because he be trying to help everybody now. Everybody. I used to make them, when they was younger, I used to make them help people. And I used to tell them, I said, well, when you want somebody to help me if I was that old, go help them people. You don't, they ain't got to give you nothing to help them. You don't need a fucking reward. Just help somebody. But he helped the man. We helped the man up off the ground. And the wife was just like, oh, let me, she wanted to pay him. And I said, no, no. I said, no, we appreciate it. I appreciate it. And it had nothing to do with pride. I just didn't want her to feel like she owed somebody for helping them. No, no. We helped them up, helped them to the door so they can get in the house safe. And that was it. But that lady, the lady said something, it stuck with me. But I'm telling you, these elders don't cross our paths for no reason. People don't cross your path for no reason. Be mindful of how you treat people. It matters. It matters. And that, you know what's crazy? On our way back from the grocery store, because we was there for a while, the lady had came out, the same lady, she came out and she was like, here, I got something for you. And it was some fresh baked cookies and some hot chocolate and bottles of water. I said thank you. Because she wanted to give, that showed me she just wanted to give. That was her way of showing appreciation and gratitude. So that I accepted. I appreciate that. Thank you. We appreciate it. And we go about our business. We don't need all that extra stuff. Y'all don't need that to help people. Just help people. Just like, what are you doing? What are you doing? And it's crazy as hell. The job I resigned from, and I believe I told this story. One of the ladies that I helped, this lady fell the hell out. She passed out. I helped her. And then the lady turned around and lied on me. I said, that's fucking crazy. That's crazy. Why would you sit up and lie on me? You that intimidated by what I do? You that bothered by who I am spiritually that you gonna lie on me? That was crazy to me. I couldn't believe that. Blew my mind. And then all I kept hearing was, Danielle, everybody ain't you. Everybody ain't like you. It's a lot of people like you, but everybody ain't it. I said, I'm going to leave it alone. I left it alone. Prayed about it and left it there. Because that was crazy to me. Yes, we ate the cookies and they was delicious. Them cookies came with gratitude, love, and appreciation. Of course we ate them. Of course. Yeah. Now you gotta be mindful of what you eat, and now let me tell y'all, cause not me and my son, my kids, we don't eat that. We can all cook. All of us cook. I don't just do the cooking, baby. My kids can cook too, right? And my sons cook better. Listen, my sons cook better than my daughter. They cooks. They throws down. We don't eat everybody cooking. We eat each other's cooking. We ain't gonna be no. We don't do that. We don't do that. And my 16-year-old, he had to learn the hard way. So now he a little picky with who food he eat. He a little more picky because before he was, buddy, you better slow down. But you gotta be mindful because everybody energy don't be right. And that energy they got and that they in when they cooking that food, baby, that's the energy they putting in your body. They feeding your spirits. Just know that. Every time I've ever prepared a meal for somebody, it's prepared with love, joy, happiness, and probably some musical lyrics, baby, because I'm going to be singing and dancing. Because that's just me. I love to cook and can really cook for real. So, yeah, we all, You said you colorblind. That's the way to be. That's how you supposed to be. Colorblind. That's how my grandma Gloria, I'm telling you, she taught me that when I was a kid. We don't see no color. We don't see color. We don't see that. That's when my feelings was hurt when my son told me about a lady saying some racial stuff to him. I'd be mad, truth be told. But my children have a way of calming me down when it come to them. Cause I don't play about them. I don't care how old they get. I ain't gonna never play about them. No. I was pissed. Cause I don't play that. I didn't. The way I grew up around my grandma Gloria and the things she taught me and where I come from, I could never be like that. I could never be like that. It's so many people in my family where they skin ain't this color. Okay? Some of the people that I love most are not this color. They don't have this skin tone. But they share my blood. Do you hear me? So I don't fuck around. Don't play with me. I don't do that racist shit on no level. None. Mm-mm. 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 I was willing to beat up my niece's parent for some racist shit. Absolutely. Yeah. It was years ago. But baby, yes, I was. I don't play that. I don't play that. You can't bring that this way. No. And all my nieces and nephews are mixed. Most, not all of them. Most of them. 90% of them are all mixed. I don't be playing. Now, is there some individuals in my family that come off a little racist? Absolutely, yes, it is. Yes, it is. Yes, it is. It is. And I don't fuck with them. No. No. So yes, honey. Um, I'm about to get up off of here because now I need a break before I do the on the positive note message. We 3 hours? I don't know. Somebody needed a lesson. Because, baby, a 3 hour lesson is crazy. Then I'm putting Carmex on my top lip. I don't put stuff on my top lip. I don't know what's going on. All right, y'all. You said your question. How far was the walk from the grocery store to my house? I never calculated that. Never. I know for sure it was a distance. It was far, baby. It was really far. But that was my first time with, like, man, listen. One thing about me, I'm gonna do what need to be done. If that's what we gotta do, that's what we gonna do. I'm gonna figure it out. That's I'm telling you, my landlord was like, I'd appreciate and respect your tenacity and talking to me. And I was like, I just do what I need to do. I'm used to figuring out a way. I'm gonna figure out a way. You know, God blessed me to be able to do so. God blessed me with the ability to figure it out and not be stressed in the midst of figuring it out. Okay? So it is what it is. People can keep throwing their challenges, they can keep throwing their obstacles. All they doing is keeping themselves in karmic cycles and creating bad karma for themselves. I don't internalize it. It is what it is. I'ma just grow from it and start looking at people as the shitty individuals that they are and not for the light that I see in them. Because I can see your light and your dark in you, baby. I'm just hoping that you're going to let that light shine and not live in that dark. But everybody don't live in their light. They like it in their dark. So it is what it is. Ain't my business. That's their business. That's between you and God. So I heard, go with God, Crispy. Hey, I'm about to go watch Sister Act 2. I gotta watch Sister Act 2 today. I have to. And I just watched it about a month ago. Maybe a few weeks ago. I don't know, but that's my favorite movie ever. That is forever my favorite movie. Sister Act 2. Sister Act 2 and John Wick. I know it's kind of like, what? But yeah. I like John Wick a lot. You know, John Wick ain't play about his wife and his dog, baby. I love it. So I'm about to go, y'all. Okay. Y'all be blessed, nothing less. I love y'all. I appreciate y'all for joining me. I appreciate the gifts and everything. May you be blessed 1,000 times more. I will see you guys. It's 4:44 on the clock. Man, I'm about to go over there and do the on a positive note message right now. Because if I don't, I might not. And I got to do this. I have to. So let me go over there and do that. Any information you may need in regards to me is in the description section. Yes, it's Saturday. We doing the topic later this evening. Okay, so somewhere about 8:30, 9:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, I'm going to be here. So hit the notification bell so you know when I get here. Okay? And then I got to put this stuff. I got to put my items up. Y'all. I can't put them up until I organize and write everything down. 'Cause work, hard work. Let me go. I love y'all. You said Whoopi. Yeah, Sister Act is great. All of them. But Sister Act 2 with Lauryn Hill, trying to tell you. I think it's the music. It might be the music. And then, you know, she wanted to sing. Her mama ain't want her to sing, and that girl could really sing. You hear me? It's just something about the message and the music. All right. All right, y'all. I'm about to go. I'm going to the members, okay? So we can do the on a positive note message. If you've been rocking with me for the last 3 hours, baby, you are appreciated, cause that's a long time. I'll talk to y'all later.